What's up, everyone? It's Chris from SportsChatPlace.com here with your 1 p.m. roundup for the NFL action going down Sunday, November 14th, 2021. Before we get to those free picks, got to let you guys know Sports Chat Place, the original free pick site. We have every single game covered for you every day. So make sure you go on over to the website and check out all the free content that's there waiting for you. But let's get to the action for week 10 of the NFL season, shall we? I mean, it's already, man, the season's just flying by. You blink and you miss it. And but that doesn't mean we don't have some great action on the board for Sunday. So let's start with this matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Tennessee Titans. And the Saints coming into this one, you know what? They still can't figure out who their quarterback's going to be, whether it's Trevor Siemian or Taysom Hill. But for whatever reason, the defense keeps doing its job. And the Titans, it worked over the Rams last week, but the Saints, they do really well in pass protection. They protect the quarterback very, very well, and they have a more conservative approach to their offense. So they're not going to be giving points away, kind of like the Rams did to the Titans last weekend. And the Titans, they are just wrecked from an injury standpoint right now. Obviously, we know Derrick Henry's lost. The injuries just keep piling up. Julio Jones now on the IR. Ryan Tannehill been dealing with a bug within the team, so. And I think that the injuries are going to start catching up to Mike Vrabel's team at some point, and the Saints, they're a dangerous team to give points to, no matter who's a quarterback. And I know Alvin Kamara, unlikely to play in this one for the Saints, but still, I like the value with the Saints and the points in this one. So we're going to take New Orleans plus the 3. Let's move on to this matchup now at Foxborough between the Cleveland Browns and New England Patriots. And look at the Cleveland Browns just keep chugging along, 5-4 on the year, but so are the Patriots. This is a Patriots team that's moving along pretty well after a slow start to the season, but Mac Jones finally looks like he's getting comfortable in a New England uniform. Josh McDaniels really starting to format an offense to help Jones thrive and succeed. But we all know how dangerous this Cleveland offense can be, and like I said, New England's starting to put points on the board as well. Total here set at 45. I like this one to go over the number 45. I could see a game where both teams get into the mid to high 20s, and may the best team win at that point. So we're going to take the over 45 in Cleveland and New England. But we're going to now take a look at this matchup between Detroit and Pittsburgh going down at Heinz Field. And the big news, well, Ben Roethlisberger now on the COVID list for the Steelers. And, it's just another, feather in the cap of the Steelers. So, well, now they have to deal with something else. And, whether it's Mason Rudolph, a quarterback, which I believe is going to be the likely option here, you're likely going to see the Steelers offense, which is already banged up and struggling to move the football as it is, probably get just a little bit worse. And meanwhile, the Detroit Lions, this is a team that's battled all season long, despite being 0-8. They're being competitive in their games, and I think the best way for the Lions to give themselves a chance in this one is to try to maintain as much possession of the football as possible. I see a lot of running the football from Detroit's standpoint here. And the Pittsburgh Steelers, well, I think it's just going to be another inept offensive performance here, whether they like it or not, because Ben Roethlisberger wasn't really doing too well moving the Steelers up and down the field. And I have a feeling whoever's under center for the Steelers in this one's going to have trouble even against the Lions. So total set at 41. I'm going to look at the under 41. And that's going to be my pick for the Detroit and Pittsburgh matchup. And we're going to go to Indianapolis, Lucas Oil Field, the Jaguars and the Colts going down an AFC South Division matchup. And the Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence now apparently dealing with an ankle sprain. All he has to do is look over at the other sideline. The other quarterback is there because Carson Wentz knows what an ankle issue's been like. He's had issues with both ankles this season. He obviously has ankles, but issues with both ankles this season. And he seems to be moving along pretty well. And the Colts, ever since really getting Wentz back to the lineup, he's been taking care of the football. And, the Colts have been finding ways to win games. The Jaguars, well, we know what the Jaguars have been doing this season. It's been a daily grind for Urban Meyer, and take that as you will. But the Jaguars just, this is a team that's learning on the fly this season. I think it's going to be just another learning experience for the Jags, and not in a good way. I think the Colts win this one by a couple touchdowns, keep their foot on the gas. Now seeing all the trouble that the Tennessee Titans are in. Say that 5 times fast, but yeah, I'm going to take the Colts laying the 10 points here. Again, I think the Jaguars just, like I said, it's just a learning experience this year, and I think it's another year of rebuilding if you're a Jacksonville Jaguars fan. So we take the Colts minus the 10. And we're going to go to AT&T Stadium and take a look at this Falcons and Cowboys NFL matchup. And, the Atlanta Falcons, this is a team that's hard to figure out. You look at their wins, the Giants, the Jets, the Dolphins, and, they beat the New Orleans Saints on the road. A nice win. We also got to remember, though, the Saints were in a big letdown spot after beating Tampa Bay the week before. And, the Dallas Cowboys now coming in after just their second loss of the season, their first blown cover of the season. Still 7-1 against the number, but, just a flat showing against the Denver Broncos. But like I said, I think it was just an advantageous spot that the Falcons took advantage of last week. I think the Cowboys are a little bit salty with with how their last game against Denver went, and I think they're going to want to change public perception that, maybe this team's a bit overhyped, overrated. Well, I don't know about that. So I'm going to take the Cowboys laying the 8 points here. I think they win this one by at least 10 points at home. So give me Dallas. We get into the home stretch of the 1 o'clock slot. We're going to go to an AFC East matchup at MetLife Stadium as the Bills take on the Jets. And the Bills, well, they've been winning games lately, but they haven't been overly consistent with, the covers. And if they have been covering the number, they've been leaving it close. They had a 26-11 win over the Dolphins, I believe, a couple weeks ago, where they were laying 14.5 or 15, depending on where you got your number. You either got a cover or a push, and it took a late touchdown to get there as well. Meanwhile, the Jets, we know what the Jets were going to be this season, but, we didn't know what Mike White was going to be. This guy's come around. He had a rough first outing in that rout against the Patriots, but since then he led the league in passing a couple weeks ago. The thing with the Jets right now is that they're playing with basically a nothing to lose mentality, and I think that that's a little bit dangerous if you're looking at the side in this one. But the total 47.5 just feels too low to me. I think this one gets into the 50s at the very least, 28-21 or something like that. I'm not saying the Bills cover. I'm saying if you see it in that kind of direction, the over is probably going to be where you're going to want to be. So I'm going to take the over 47.5. And we're going to close out with this Tampa Bay and Washington football team matchup. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, well, business as usual. Tom Brady just keeps moving this team up and down. And, they're putting points on the board. But, the defense has been a concern. The secondary's been banged up all season long. My thing is, though, I don't know if we have to worry about the Washington team that's put up just 33 points across their last 3 games. I've said it once. If you've been watching these videos, you know the deal. I say it all the time. It's the perils of Washington rolling with Taylor Heineke as a starting quarterback. It's a nice story, getting from the XFL all the way up to the to leading the Washington football team right now. But the problem is he's not executing on the field. You're just seeing the Washington offense struggle. And against a Bucs defense that's the 12th best scoring defense in the NFL, I could easily see the Buccaneers struggling to get to that 13. Again, the team total set at 19.5. Something I don't do very often, but when I do, it's for a good reason. I'm going to take the Washington team total here under 19.5. And that's going to close out our look at the action for the 1 o'clock time slot for Week 10 of the NFL action. Sunday, November 14th. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're looking for best bets for myself or any of our other world-class handicappers, don't forget to check out Sports Chat Plays Premium. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and drop a like, and let's cash some winners.